September 21st, 2003, loved ones gather for a final goodbye. A goodbye to someone that some of them have decades of memories with. Good memories, bad memories, triumphs, failures. However, I'm not talking about a memorial for a person. I mean a memorial for a spacecraft that reached the end of its life and was about to plunge into the dangerous, ultra-high pressure atmosphere of Jupiter. Of course, a lot of spacecrafts like Voyager 1 and 2, launched back in the 70s, are simply left to forever launch deeper and deeper into space, sending back data until their dwindling power supplies are completely lost. Theoretically, they'll just keep shuttling into deep space forever. However, that is not the fate of all spacecrafts. Some spacecrafts are intentionally destroyed, despite the billions of dollars poured into them and the heartache this induces in teammates. Today, we're going to talk about two spacecrafts called Galileo and Cassini and understand why they were sent into the atmosphere of gas giants. Oh, first, a quick little science refresher. Did you ever learn about the different types of planets in our solar system? You might recall one called a gas giant. The gas giants in our solar system are Jupiter and Saturn. Like the name implies, they're giant balls of gas. However, what will be important to remember in this chat is that gas giants have insanely huge amounts of pressure, like millions of times the pressure of Earth's surface. Needless to say, no person nor machine can survive this kind of pressure. Let's get to our spacecrafts. Today's first stellar piece of spacecraft is the Galileo. Galileo was a spacecraft launched by NASA in 1989, which went on to give us some amazing photographs and pieces of information. The accomplishments of any spacecraft could honestly be an entire novel, but I'll give you a few select accomplishments of Galileo. Galileo took the first ever close-up image of an asteroid, called Gaspra. Galileo also found out that another asteroid, Ida, had its own moon. This was the first time we had seen such a thing. However, the bulk of Galileo's work comes from its research of Jupiter and its moons. Galileo photographed one of Jupiter's moons, Io, undergoing a volcanic eruption. Io probably has about 100 times more volcanic activity than Earth. Galileo also studied the magnetic fields around Jupiter. Jupiter's magnetic field is disrupted around one of its moons, Europa. Europa has an icy surface, but the disruption of the magnetic fields implies that there's probably liquid salt water within the surface. Every time water is discovered on an extraterrestrial surface, the question inevitably arises, could there be life? Another superb piece of space machinery is 1997's Cassini. While the Galileo focused on Jupiter and its moons, Cassini's research focused more on Saturn and its moons. Cassini was the first spacecraft to orbit Saturn. Enceladus, one of the moons of Saturn, sends plumes of water hundreds of miles into the air. Cassini was able to snag some of this water, making it the first spacecraft to sample water from an extraterrestrial ocean. Once again, the science community was rocked. Watered? Wetted? Never mind. By these discoveries, as Cassini began running out of fuel, it began its so-called grand finale, where it daringly dived between Saturn and its rings, despite this being a super dangerous space for a piece of machinery worth $1 billion. But ultimately, these two spacecrafts were killed by NASA. Galileo was sent into the atmosphere of Jupiter. Cassini was sent plummeting into Saturn. Both were inevitably destroyed by the pressure. But why? Why would we destroy these spacecrafts which had decades of work and billions of dollars put into them? The answer is somewhat surprising, but simple. If these spacecrafts were left alone to run out of fuel, they might unintentionally collide with one of these watery moons, and this could disrupt a potential ecosystem. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's true. The official NASA-endorsed reasons, which you can find on various web pages regarding Cassini and Galileo, are that NASA does not want to introduce any Earth microbes to potential watery ecosystems. So what does one do? Teams of scientists at NASA, who report loving these spacecrafts almost like family after decades of work, band together and ask questions like, what's our wish list for the end of this space shuttle's life? Should we send our billion-dollar spacecraft through a planet's dangerous rings? Why the hell not? And then, you gather up to say goodbye. Final valuable pieces of data are transmitted as your beloved spacecraft hurtles into millions of pounds of pressure. Goodbye parties are held. And maybe even some tears are shed because, damn it, you love that little billion-dollar son of a gun. Today's video was slightly more solemn in tone because I feel so bad for the spacecrafts. And yes, this is considering the fact that I cheerfully talked about brain disease in one of my first videos. Anyhow, I hope when you look up at space this week, you can remember the hundreds of billions of dollars doing research for us out there. It's only a matter of time until we discover a planet full of cute cat girls or cat boys, right? Just kidding, you have me. What do you need more alien cuties for, huh? Well, if you feel like sharing something about yourself this week, my question is, what's the ideal type of weather for you? Sunny, rainy, something else? Maybe I'll do a video on weather soon. Keep loving science and see you around.